Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. Now, do you struggle to pick a race when making a new character or class? Or maybe you're someone who just likes to min-max everything and would like to know what race is best for your playstyle, whether that's PvP or PvE. Or maybe you're somebody who just enjoys the Elder Scrolls lore and would like to find a little more about each race's culture. Well, rest assured, as we're going to answer all of those questions and many more as we explore my race guide for the Elder Scrolls Online. But before we jump in, if you want to see more ESO content, remember to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and why not consider sharing this video? It will help the channel. Now with introductions out of the way, let's get started. Now when starting out on the Elder Scrolls Online, you have to pick a race, but where do you start? There are 10 playable races to choose from, each with their own advantages, and many people will tell you that your race must be this, or it must be that just to be optimal. Some may even criticise your choice. But don't listen to those people. They are partially correct. However, in this game, your race, although it's an important part of your character and its power from the get-go, it doesn't actually make that much of a difference in the end game, especially if you actually learn the class and the playstyle. Now, I would be lying guys if I told you to make a magicka character that was a Redguard. Some races are clearly better for some playstyles, but in all honesty, if your race is a magicka focused one, then you can play a magicka build absolutely fine, and if it's a stamina focused race, then you can play a stamina build absolutely fine if you are trying to optimise. I'd also suggest that you factor in the race's heritage, the culture, the alliance, and most of all, just pick a race that you will enjoy playing and looking at. You're going to spend a lot of time doing that. We're now going to go through and explore each race briefly, touch upon its racial bonuses, the relevant lore and cultural aspects, and then explore what races work well for damage dealers, tanks and healers for both PvE and PvP, so stay tuned. Starting us off, we're going to look at the Daggerfall Alliance races. First up, we have Bretons. The Bretons of High Rock are well known for their magical prowess, as elven blood still runs through their veins, making them gain strong bonuses to their magic stat, whilst at the same time their resourcefulness helps them sustain their magicka easier with greater regeneration, coupled with cost reduction on all magical abilities. Such strong attunement with the arcane allows Bretons to be natural wizards, magic wielding warriors and healers alike, with the ability to cast more frequently and more effectively than any other race. Bretons are the master of magicka sustain and make phenomenal mages and healers alike. Our next race is Redguards. The Redguards are a desert people whose ancestors migrated to Tamriel from Yakuda. They are a proud people who still honour their ancient traditions. Legends claim that they are both experts in magic and blade, and are able to manifest swords, often called sword singers. They make strong warriors due to their strong bonuses to max stamina, whilst boasting cost reduction on all weapon skills, and they possess the unique ability to generate stamina whilst attacking. Redguards are the master of stamina sustain and make formidable damage dealers. Our final Daggerfall Alliance race is the Orc. Men and Mer alike regard orcs as barbarians or even beasts due to their appearance and their brutality. They have an ancient culture forged by warfare in their pursuit to claim a home, away from persecution. Orcs are a simple people bound by honour and a desire to survive. They make phenomenal warriors. They have strong bonuses to stamina and weapon damage, whilst also being able to run faster at speed than any other race, and boast a unique ability to regain health through combat. Orcs make for the hardest hitting warriors in all of the land. The Aldmeri Dominion Alliance races. Our first race is the Khajiit. Residents of Tamriel consider the Khajiit to be a feline-like humanoid creature that comes in various shapes, sizes and even forms due to the strong attunement with the lunar cycles. However, this is not entirely true. They often look humanoid, however some Khajiit look entirely feline with no resemblance to humans whatsoever. Khajiit of all shapes and sizes are nimble, light on their feet and are skilled in a multitude of areas. They are particularly renowned for their stealth and their cunningness, and as such make great assassins and thieves alike. They also make formidable warriors, wizards and healers, thanks to their ability to regenerate all resources slightly faster, having slightly more max resource in all areas, but most notably their ability to do bonus critical damage and healing. They make great assassins and strong hybrids, being able to fulfill all playstyles effectively. The Bosmer. The Bosmer, or Wood Elves, are a cunning, nimble but also mischievous people. They originate from Valinwood and are gifted marksmen. Having originated from such a hostile place, they have developed an immunity to the poison status effect. What's more, they have keen eyesight, are athletically fit, and are able to find and exploit a target's weakness even through the toughest of armour. As such, they have strong bonuses to stamina recovery, max stamina and can move faster after rolling while simultaneously being able to exploit a target's weakness thanks to bonus penetration. Therefore, they are natural warriors being able to sustain easier, and due to their enhanced movement capabilities, they make great assassins. High Elves. The High Elves, or Atlmer, are elves who arrived in Tamriel eons ago from Aldmeri. They perceive themselves to be superior to man and Mer alike, and believe that they are the only race fit to rule all of Tamriel. They are a highly cultured people with phenomenal architecture, vast libraries and creative works. They are renowned for their prowess with the arcane, seeming to have some natural affinity towards it. As such, they gain strong bonuses to magicka and increase spell damage, whilst being able to draw upon their Elven Supremacy passives to regenerate their primary off-stat, making strong battle mages. High Elves make for some of the hardest hitting mages in all of Tamriel, casting with precision and ferocity. The Ebonheart Pact Alliance races. Nord. Nords are a proud and stoic people who oppose external rule and tyranny. Nordic people are considered to be racist amongst other men and mer of Tamriel, and they have a rich history of conflict and war all set in their Nordic traditions. They have opposed external rule on numerous occasions, driving out the Aelids of High Rock and resisting Imperial control. Nords are excellent with arms of all kinds, quick to anger, boisterous and strong. They're natural born warriors who fight with ferocity and purpose. As such, they make excellent warriors thanks to their modest bonus to health, high bonuses to resistances, slight bonus to stamina and ultimate generation, as well as immunity to the chilled status effect. All of this makes Nords difficult to bring down in the heat of battle. Argonian. Argonians are a lizard-like people who originate from Blackmarsh, an inhospitable place. They have a strange relationship to the histories that dwell there, and legends claim that they can even use the roots of said trees to travel vast distances. Argonians are intellectual and well versed in the magical arts, stealth and the use of blades. Furthermore, having originated from such an inhospitable place, it's only natural that they have developed an immunity. They are renowned guerrilla warfare experts who have a long history of defending their home from invaders. As such, they have modest bonuses to magicka, healing and max health, and the unique ability to gain additional resources when consuming any potion. They make for some of the best tanks and healers in all of Tamriel. Dark Elves. The Dark Elves of Morrowind, often called Dunmer, are a xenophobic people whose culture is greatly influenced by ancestral traditions and political tensions between their varying houses. Once known to be open Daedra worshipping people, the Dark Elves have a long history of conflict and have since transformed them into hardened warriors. Due to elven blood still running through their veins, they have a natural affinity towards magic and possess great intellect, whilst their agility and physical prowess make them deadly assassins. As such, they gain bonuses to both weapon damage and spell damage, and gain large bonuses to magicka and stamina alike, whilst their ashen skin makes them resistant to flame and immune to the burning status effect. This makes them strong warriors and mages alike, and they are perfect at becoming a hybrid, able to fulfill any role with great ease. Non-alliance races. The Imperial is a race upgrade that you can access. This playable race has no alliance due to the Empire being collapsed. They are a humanoid people who possess great charm and intellect and strength, while simultaneously being expert strategists, once conquering all of Tamriel under one banner. They make for strong warriors thanks to large bonuses to health and stamina, whilst being able to regenerate all resources through combat, and also possess cost reduction on all skills. Therefore, they are natural born leaders and make strong tanks or warriors in the open battlefield. Having touched upon each race and their bonuses, we're now going to explore what race is best for PvE. PvE DPS. Now let me preface this with the fact that DPS in the Elder Scrolls Online comes down to many factors, not just your race. It mainly comes down to your rotation and your ability to light attack with, and the gear. Your race then has some influence. The influence is marginal as long as you have an appropriate race type and your rotation is good. It's also worth mentioning that you'll find that the best race for DPS changes from patch to patch, and so instead of focusing on which race is best right now, make sure that your race is an appropriate selection. You have a magicka race for a magicka damage dealer and a stamina race for a stamina damage dealer. Stamina damage dealer should be one of the following races if you're trying to min-max your DPS. You want to be either an Orc, a Redguard, a Wood Elf, a Khajiit, a Dark Elf or Imperial in that order. Each race listed here has strong bonuses towards stamina through their max stat, weapon damage or sustain, or a combination of the three. Depending on which you pick, you can usually offset any weaknesses by changing your food or a glyph, so simply pick a race that you like the sound of or the appearance of. If you are trying to min-max though Orc wins ever so slightly, Redguard is a very close second. Magicka damage dealers should be one of the following races: Breton, High Elf, Dark Elf or Khajiit. Each race here has strong bonuses towards magicka, spell damage or magicka sustain, or a combination of the lot. As with stamina DPS, whatever race you pick, you can generally offset the weaknesses by changing your food or a glyph or two, but if you're trying to min-max, Breton pulls out just in front. Healing in the Elder Scrolls Online requires healers to be able to push out heals regularly, and so races that can sustain easier are best suited for this. Bretons, High Elves, Argonians, Dark Elves and Khajiit make excellent healers. Stamina healing, although is a thing in this game, it isn't established enough, and so I'd advise against this, but a good stamina healing race would be something like a Redguard should you so desire one. As with the DPS, there is little difference with healing in regards to the races, but if you want for sheer effectiveness, the Breton is the best for this as it has the highest sustain. Tanking. When tanking, you need to be able to sustain your stamina pool. If you fail this, you will die and so will your group. As such, any tanking race needs to be able to sustain properly or have bonus resistances or a combination of the both. Argonians, Nords, Imperials, Orcs and even Redguards make excellent tanks through either more max stat, cost reduction or an ability to regenerate extra stamina should they need to. If you're going to min-max however, Argonian or Nord does pull out in front by quite a margin. Now I get asked this an awful lot. What race do I pick? I've just started the game. I don't know what class I want either. Well, if you're just new and you don't know what race or class to pick, I would suggest picking a Dark Elf or a Khajiit. These are hybrid races. A hybrid race in this game is able to fulfill stamina or magicka effectively should you spec towards it. Dark Elves gain bonuses to weapon damage and spell damage as well as max magicka and max stamina. Thus they are great starter races if you're unsure what to pick or play. Khajiit are very similar in the same regard. So for me, if you don't know what to pick just yet, go with a Dark Elf, it's a really good safe bet. PvP. Now with PvP, the waters do become more muddied, and so it's really important to know that things do change drastically from patch to patch. And this is more of an overview of what race will work well for a specific playstyle, so do take it with a pinch of salt. Now many of you will know that this channel is all about PvP pretty much, and so I'm going to draw upon all of that knowledge to give you an informed opinion. For me, the best magicka damage dealing race is a High Elf hands down. They gain strong bonuses to magicka which buffs all of the shields you would use. They gain spell damage which again buffs the heals and the damage, but the big deal breaker for me is the ability to regenerate stamina, which is just invaluable on a magicka character. If you run out of stamina in PvP, you are generally dead as a magicka character, it just doesn't regenerate quick enough. And so that extra sustain, although it seems very marginal, it's really noticeable when you actually play that race. And I have tried out Breton and I switched back to my High Elf because I was unhappy with the result. For me, High Elf is the most flexible because of that. With that said however, Bretons can work and they are good races if you spam skills a lot, or you want a bit more build flexibility and versatility. I would however suggest that you incorporate a bit more stamina sustain if you choose to go with Breton. Another good option is a Dark Elf as well, as they have more max stamina as well. And Dark Elves allow you to switch between magicka and stamina should you choose. Simply go to a way shrine, change your skills, change your attributes and you can be a stamina DPS. As for the stamina damage dealers guys, it's slightly different because you've got the medium armour, the heavy armour, mobility and just what you do if you're a bit unsure. So if you want to play as a medium armour damage dealer, which has loads of benefits by the way, you want to go as a Nord in all honesty. I've tried Orc, I switched to Nord and I loved it ever since. Nord for me hands down is the best race for medium armour. It just gives you the resistances that you lack. If you want to go with a heavy armour spec, Orc is very good and so is Redguard. For me I prefer Orc in heavy armour just because you hit harder, but Redguard works nice if you have issues with sustain. You don't need to be a Nord in heavy armour, you're tanky enough as it is. If you want something a bit more mobile that can get in and out and hit really hard, a Wood Elf is a great choice for that kind of mobility playstyle, or even a Redguard. And if you're somebody going, Dan, I don't want to level up 2 characters, why do I want 2 characters? Just make a Dark Elf. The damage difference between the lot of them is very little in all honesty. Dark Elf is a great choice if you're a bit unsure. Healing is slightly different in PvP. You need heals to be able to be pumped out even faster than PvE because they get heavily reduced. So for me I found it's more effective to have lots of small heals than massive big burst heals, and so sustain races generally work better. I have had the most success running either a Breton, a High Elf or an Argonian. The Breton is really good because all your heals are cheaper to cast and you can cast them more frequently. High Elf works really well because you've got the Stam management should you get CC'd, so it helps you get out of those bad situations more frequently. And Argonian is just basically a free oh no button due to the potion passive. So if you want to have like a tanky healer, Argonian is a great choice. If you want to have a healer that can just pump out heals rapidly, a Breton. Or if you want a healer that can do a bit more stronger heals but also can sustain their stamina easier, a High Elf works just as well. As for the PvP tanking races, Nord Argonian and Imperial are the better races in all honesty. Nords just give you extra resistances and ultimate generation, which is just invaluable, especially on a Warden. The resistances allow you to bypass the armor cap, but due to the high amount of penetration people have in PvP, especially Cyrodiil with CP, you find that even having 45k resistance, people still bring you below the penetration cap. So Nord is a great choice. Alternatively, Argonian is a solid bet as well. The potion passive, as we've said earlier, is a good oh no button. Simply pop this with a tri-stack potion and you're good to go. It's a really good way to reset a fight if things go the wrong way. And then surprisingly, the Imperial is not a bad shout either, because as a tank you have to use all of your skills, magicka and stamina alike, and then you get cost reduction on both sides as well as ultimates, so it means you can pump out stuff a little bit easier. Now I'd just like to make a little disclaimer before we continue, and that obviously these are my opinions, and that ultimately this is what I feel having played the game for as long as I have. They will vary from player to player though, and from patch to patch, so just bear that in mind, okay? Do take it with a pinch of salt. The way in which you build for PvP is very different to PvE. In PvE you have to pretty much push DPS and sustain as high as you can. In PvP however, you have to push sustain, defense, critical resistance generally, and then your ability to actually manage all that stuff as a player. So it's a lot harder to build for PvP, and as such your race has less and less of an impact. Is the race important? Yes, but is it as important as people claim it to be? Probably not. So as I said, the races listed above are ones that work for me and for other people that I know, but they might work for other people with varying success. Play what you feel that works well for you, and if you're making it work, by all means keep with it, keep going guys. Now you might disagree with what I said about PvP or PvE or just the races generally, and that's okay. Leave it in the comments, it's always great to start a discussion. I make mistakes sometimes and that's absolutely fine. This channel is an open channel where you can discuss and debate things. Now in our next video we're going to cover what class you should pick for PvE and PvP, or even both. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that, and if you are still here I want to say a massive thank you for staying around this long. Why not leave a like or a comment, or perhaps you know somebody who would benefit from this video, then consider sharing it. It will help them out and it will help the channel. And before I forget, I want to say a big thanks to Captain TJ, who is helping fund the channel on our Patreon. Maybe you could become a patron too and have a shout out in future videos. There's a link in the description. And with that said though guys, I am going to wrap the video up here and I'll catch you in the next one. So thanks for watching, take care and bye!